just got it done. Well, after tagging out in early September in Kentucky, and spending some time filming buddies off and on all the way through the end of October, the month of November had finally arrived, and I still had my Indiana tag in hand. So I started getting after it pretty hard again, trying to fill buck tag number 2 on the year. November 10th. Eric just killed a nice deer yesterday over in Kentucky, so I'm picking the bow back up, and I feel a little bit awkward doing so because I haven't had the bow in my hand since September 4th, and we're going to try to get it done here in Indiana. We're set up on got about 4.5 acres of real world beans here. Doesn't really look like it because there's a lot of weeds in it right now, but we've also got some oats and some clover chicory blend in here as well. But today could be a really good day. We've got the right wind direction on this stand. Takes an easterly flow, we've got it. And the pressure is through the roof this morning. Obviously, we're going to have good movement, we think, because of it being November 10th. But pressure's like at 30.5. It's just absolutely through the roof. It's almost 8 o'clock, so we're going to be strapped in here and waiting, and hopefully good things will happen. I was spending some time on what I consider a go-to property in Indiana, where I happen to have some real-world beans, oats, and a clover chicory blend planted. It was on this property that I discovered an absolutely great-looking 8-pointer around mid-November. He quickly moved up the hit list after seeing him in person for the first time. We actually ended up having several more encounters on multiple evenings and mornings with this deer. We decided to name this deer Mad Max. We actually had pics of him from the year before when he was 3.5. He was definitely staying around the area consistently thanks to the real-world food plots we had planted, which were holding lots of does on the property.
gun season rolled around, I was excited about my chances. I went in there with my brother behind the camera on November 20th, and what happened next will be an evening I won't soon forget.
Well, I got one person to blame, and you're looking at him. I missed. I got a little shook, and I rushed the shot, and I shot right in front of him. Right in front of him. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
It's good to hear.
You don't get a better opportunity than that. He was about 85 yards. And I just flat out missed. That's terrible. My head wasn't right. I don't know. I rushed it. I just totally rushed the thing. Sorry, man.
Maybe he'll follow a doe back in the field.
You know, you hunt all freaking year for one opportunity like that. One opportunity is all you ask for a deer like that. I had it, and I blew it. I absolutely blew it. That's a long way off. He's coming.
Oh my God, he's coming.
He needs to come closer. That's a long way off. How far is that?
It's 100 yards. Just take your time. He's coming. Take your time.
We'll let him go. Stay on it.
I'm on it.
I didn't miss him that time.
Got him.
I didn't miss him that time. I didn't miss him that time. Oh my God. I didn't miss him that time. Give me some, brother. I didn't miss him that time. Oh my God. Yes. I am so freaking pumped. I can't believe that just happened. Oh. The mule kick, Mad Max, mule kick. Thank you. Dude, I'm so glad you're here with me, Tony. He comes over here. I know you've seen it already, but he comes over, steps out at like 80 yards, and I freaking missed. I choked. I totally whiffed on that deer. And I've sit here and kicked myself. And my brother, God bless his soul, he's kicked me too the whole time. This is the first time in the entire time I've been hunting. And you were there with me the very first time I went hunting. The very first time. When I was a little kid, my brother took me hunting. And this is the very first time I've ever sat in a tree with him. And he come out and video me. and I missed a beautiful opportunity on Mad Max, a big giant 150s Class 8 pointer. And unbelievably, he came back out and gave me a second chance. Dude, that is amazing. I don't know how good the shot was, but it looked pretty good.
Check the footage out.
We're gonna go back and look at the footage and see where it's at. We're gonna give him some time. I may come back in the morning and get him.
Following the shot, I was extremely confident, based on the way that Max had reacted, that it was a good hit. It wasn't until a further review, after looking at the footage back home, that we realized things might not be as good as we thought.
So we watched the footage last night. Obviously a low hit. I feel like it got in the brisket though, maybe 4 or 5 inches up on it. Don't expect to see a whole lot of blood, but we're back here the next morning and kind of found where he went into the woods, tore up a little bit, and not much, but at least we know we're on the right path. I got some muscle tissue right there. You got that? So we're going to take our time, hands and knees, just go really slow through here, and hopefully we'll find where he goes. This is needle and haystack kind of stuff. It's very thick. This area was logged hard the last 2 years. So we came out in the morning, found very little sign of the hit, and decided to back out and call in a dog. Fortunately, we found a dog that's fairly local. It's a young dog, but Mr. Eric Alexander's bringing his dog out to help us do a little trailing. And the good thing is about the hit, it's either a dead deer or it's a deer that's going to live, because it's not something that's going to die later on, like a week from now. I don't think it's either that bullet deflected when it hit that front leg and it didn't get in the brisket, in which case the deer will be fine, I think, just with a broken front leg, or it's got on in there, maybe hit an artery, or possibly got into the blood in the brisket.
After struggling to find good blood, only finding a small bone fragment, I decided that it was time to call in a tracking dog. After a day spent with the tracking dog and countless hours and days following up, just scouring the woods looking for any sign at all that maybe Max might possibly have been fatally wounded, came up with nothing. So based on the video footage, the lack of blood, and the lack of the success of the tracking dog, we knew Max had made it through. It was late season, and I still couldn't find any signs of Mad Max anywhere. Feeling confident that he was alive and well, just moved off the property, I began my search for a mature buck to harvest before the season ended. I started glassing some of our real-world bean fields in the evenings, trying to find a buck on a late-season feeding pattern. I was extremely happy when I found a spot holding a couple of shooter bucks, one of which was a very tall-tine tight rack 8-pointer that looked to be very mature. With a 20-degree temperature drop the following day and a perfect northwest wind, conditions were perfect to hunt this spot. So I moved in quickly, hung a midday set, and settled in for the evening's hunt.
Hey folks, it's December the 12th, and it's really cold tonight, really cold. It's supposed to get down into the teens tonight, and the wind chill is actually probably going to be close to 0. So yesterday was a little bit warmer, wasn't really the best conditions, so I decided to not hunt. But instead of hunting, what I did, I went over the entire area, all the places that I have that I can hunt anywhere in driving distance here. I just went and I sat on the fields and I glassed for a while to see if I could find a good shooter, and lo and behold, on these beans here that are standing, I saw 2 really good bucks, 2 mature bucks. There was 12 or 13 deer hit this yesterday evening. It wasn't as cold. I've got a perfect wind, northwest wind. My approach was perfect and flawless. I came in today around noon and kept my truck running. I drove right to the edge of this field here, and I hung the stand that I'm in now, and then drove back out. So I really don't think I've boogered anything up. I really, really feel good about my chances this evening. I think I'm going to see some good deer activity. can't believe it. I finally got it done. I'm gonna get on the phone, get the boys, get them over here. Celebration time, baby. We got another buck down. Yay! Hold up, JC, buddy. Let me get in front of you there, buddy.
Radar. Come on.
Okay, he was standing actually right out here. No, actually, I don't know if I do or not. Honestly, I went straight to a deer.
Radar.
I saw a deer go down, so we're just gonna go straight over here.
Come on.
Oh man, you're there.
Radar. Come on. Help. Help. Help.
Come on, Radar. Man, I tell you what, I am so tickled to put my hands on this deer. He is extremely narrow. He's probably not even, I bet you he's not more than 13 or 14 inches wide. And but look at the G2s this dude's got. He's got great G2s, got great brow tines, G3s. He's got everything except some spread on him, but he couldn't resist the beans, the standing beans. I saw all these deer yesterday evening. I came out and glassed some fields and located where a lot of deer activity was, and it was on these standing beans. I had another buck that was really similar to this one, not as big, but really similar. If you believe this, and you'll see it in the footage, less of a spread than this deer actually had. But came out and he fed for a little while, and this guy showed up, and instantly I knew that's exactly where I wanted to fill my tag. I am just absolutely tickled to death with this buck. A really, really good looking deer, and Radar is loving him. There's no doubt about that. Johnny, what do you think about Radar, man?
Doing all right.
He's hammering away on him, isn't he? He gets some Radar's. I'm gonna need Radar's help years from now. I guarantee you that.
No doubt
man.
about that.
No doubt about that. Oh man, what a beautiful buck. I'm absolutely loving this thing. What do you say, Radar? You liking that, buddy?
The 2017 season was just an amazing one for me. I was able to hunt from the beginning of September all the way in through the late season weeks in Indiana. I successfully filled 2 buck tags in 2 different states on 2 of the most mature deer I had ever been able to harvest, and I learned a lot along the way. And probably the best news of my 2017 season is while looking for sheds early in 2018, I came face to face with the buck we know as Mad Max, alive and well. And in 2018, we picked up one lone picture of Mad Max. And while his rack may look quite different based on the injury received in 2017, he looks healthy as he can be and ready to take on the fall of 2018. I guess you could say I'm pretty excited to get it started.
But some guy comes walking through who I've never seen before in my life. I can't believe that. I've not seen a single person on this property all year long. Nobody else has permission. I know that for a fact. That just goes to show you, you're hunting in real world conditions and you never know what may affect a deer. I got a picture of him. I know that because I got a camera right down here where he walked through. So if my stands disappear, I'm going to come find him.
Or your camera. Camera might disappear.
Way to be negative, Tony. It's going to take my camera too.
Ugh.